Hello there and welcome to part 3 of our examples of using one market from ratings 1 or inbuilt strategy 1. What we're going to do here now, we're going to look at a slightly different way of doing them. Again, the principles are the same, I don't think I need to go over them again now. Use a 10-point bank, recalculate our bank every day, and again here we'll start with a £5,000 bank. And all we'll do here now is, same again, stakes is a 10-point bank, so £500 from £5,000 starting bank. And all we're going to do with this one is every time we get the bank reaches £15,000, we're going to take £5,000 back out. Okay. So you can see we started January 2012, and by March 2013 the bank had tripled to 15,000, and then we withdrew £505,453.35. Our bank resets at £10,000. Because we're starting at a lower figure of £5,000, it does take a bit longer for it to triple. But from this point on, we're only going from 10 to 15,000 before we take £5,000 back out. So from here on in, the gap should be a bit shorter. As you can see again, by the 21st of April, so literally a month after, our bank had gone up to 15,000, over 15,000 again, and we take away £5,188 to reset the bank back to £10,000. And this process goes on. We never add money back into the bank, unlike the other system where we reset it with the bank at the end of each month. With this approach, all we're doing, we're just waiting for that bank to hit 15,000, and we withdraw the money back down to 10,000. Okay, so as you can see, we just keep taking money out. We will go for some periods, as you can see here, but there we take £5,999 out. Another 30 games, and we take 5,000 out. Another 35 games, another 5,000 comes out. And it just keeps going on, as you can see. Again, look at the sheet yourself. I don't want to bore you guys too much, whoever's listening. But using this approach, we'd have started with a £5,000 bank, and you would have withdrawn £103,000 over 6 years, which is roughly 20,000 a year. In 2018, so look at 2018 so far. You would have taken 10,000 out using this approach. But again, it's all very similar now, very similar stuff. One last example that I'm going to run through with a bit of detail is for somebody who would have start with a smaller bank of, say, £1,000. All the same here. Use a 10-point bank. And if we scroll down here, keep going. And again, all we're doing the 15,000 thing again, but what we're doing, we're starting with a lesser bank. We're starting with £1,000. And as you can see, over 6 years, using this approach, you would have taken out £80,000. And again, you can just look at this. I'll keep these examples tied in. The big thing, and again, it's the same story over and over again. The big thing is we start in January 2012, and let's have a look when we make the first withdrawal. So you can see, by the end of the first year, 2012, you're on £1,590. So a lot of people are thinking it's not worth it, but after 2 years, in fact, virtually 2 years exactly, that £1,000 bank is on £15,000. And at the end of this game here, when Milan played Atalanta and won, your bank for the first time would have gone over £15,000. You then withdraw £5,425.26 to reset it back to 10,000. And now you're back in the process, same process again. And literally by April the same year, 2014, so about 3-4 months later, you're taking another £5,000 out. And then in the same year again, in September, you're taking another £5,000 out. And again, the same year, November, you would take another 5,000 out. So back in that first year, you'd have taken £20,000 out. Just one thing to clarify as well. You'll see sometimes the bank goes over 15,000 and we don't withdraw. There is a reason behind that, which I'll explain now. As you can see here, there were 3 games played that day, and obviously we would withdraw the money when all games are finished for that day. The first 2 games took the balance there over 15,000, as you can see, but the last bet, which was Villarreal versus Cordoba in this case, was a 0-0 draw, lost. We would have lost £1,477, and our balance would have gone back down to 14,254. Because we've set a limit of 15,000 or above to withdraw, we wouldn't have withdrawn then. So if you see instances like that, that's the reason. That's the reason why. And again, that sums it up. The pattern's always the same with this strategy. I've just given another example. Here, this was at the start of the 2016-17 season, UK time, when Guardiola and Mourinho come to Man United and Man City respectively, which doesn't seem that long ago. But again, if you just start with £1,000 bank then and follow this to the letter, as you can see, you would now be sitting on £21,000. And again, this just sums it all up really. It's just like, in a way, I'm repeating the same thing over and over again. It's about having your plan, having patience, sticking to it. I've just shown you one market here, and I've shown from various standpoints, level stakes, the power of accumulation with our 8 million example. This example here, we withdrew 55,000, and that is resetting the bank at the end of each month. Another example here, if we scroll up, where every time our bank went to 30,000, we'd take 15 out, 15,000. We had another example here with our bank, and every time we went to 15,000, we'd take 5,000 out. And we had this one here, where we started with 1,000, waited till it built it up to 15,000, and then started the same process again. There's not really much more to say. You can use this approach for any market. It just takes you can manipulate this data. You could try this for the lay the draw. Be very successful with it as well. Any market you want, and we're more than happy to help you build your portfolio up however you want, and certainly set it out on a spreadsheet. But again, you can do spreadsheets, you can do whatever you want, you can talk a game, but it really does come down to patience and having a plan for, I would say, 3 to 5 years, following some really good solid markets. And there's nothing really else to say on this at this moment in time. Just make it happen. Just see it as an investment on the side. Don't get too emotionally attached to it. Just follow it to the letter. Again, any questions are more than welcome. Thanks for listening.